What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Life of a Game Hunter / Collector series. I started to give you guys a tidbit of what it's like to be a game hunter / collector. And I'm telling you what, guys, I'm doing it. I got enough encouragement from you guys out there. We're taking this PS2 down, and we're going to replace it with all my boxed games, my NES, my Super Nintendo, my 64. All this is going over there, and the PS2 stuff is going here. This is going to be a tremendous amount of work. You would think it wouldn't be, but people who have done this, they realize, like, oh yeah, that's going to take some time. But I think it's going to look so much better. I have nothing against PS2. It's an awesome system, but I'd much rather have that stuff displayed, you know, especially like for the camera. I think it would just look a lot better. And I'm also going to go through some of the collection and see if there's anything that I truly just don't want. And I'm going to take it to the convention and probably use it as trade bait, because I would much rather have something like a awesome TurboGrafx game over like a PS2 game that I may never play. So anyways, guys, it's just going to be a bunch of jumps. You're going to see updates. I'm going to put on some music, and I'm going to get to work. So anyways, guys, let's do it. Alright guys, so I'm trying to figure out like the first way I should attack this. Pull down the PS2 stuff first and then go after this. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a lot easier to pull all this stuff down, set it off to the side over here, and then to start working my way down, because I still don't really know how I'm going to display all this stuff over there. There is a lot less of this stuff than there is the PS2 stuff. Once I get everything moved, the PS2 stuff will look very filled. Hopefully I'm going to have a good bit of room left over, that way I can add if I need to. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to start with, I'm going to pull all the 64 stuff down, and then start just like going back and forth, like putting this there, taking that down. You'll see. Let's go ahead and get started on that. Alright guys, so I pulled out all the N64 carts themselves. It doesn't look like a lot of space here, but I mean, just look over here. I mean, you can see it's just mountains of games. So, I mean, imagine walking up to a yard sale and seeing that. Dear God, I wouldn't know what to do. For those of you who saw me build the actual game room, I actually made this whole shelf, you know, just from scratch. I mean, I make all the shelves. This one in particular I was real proud of, because it was just all scrap wood and it came together really nicely. So anyways, what I'm going to start doing now is starting to fill this up with PS2 games, and then that way I can start going back and forth without having to set things on the, you know, on the ground itself. So anyways, I'll fill you in on the next update. Alright guys, so I'm not necessarily scared about this. I am a little nervous. As you can see, I started pulling PS2 games down here. I'm not going to display the boxes like that. I'm just getting them out of the way. Look how bad that shelf starts to bow. And I see this a lot in game rooms, and it's inevitable. There's a lot of weight involved with these games when you put them on there, and sometimes they just start to warp down. That one did bad. That board could have been slightly wet whenever I loaded it down in the first place. I can't remember. You know, a way to prevent that, just put a bracket right in the middle. I have 3 brackets rather than 2. But what I'm getting nervous about, guys, and I measured, and everything should fit, but as you can see, just those 2 games right here filled up these 2 shelves, and we still got this one all the way down here. Like, I'm pretty sure it'll fit, but man, I'm getting nervous like this. You don't realize how much quantity of something you have until you really start moving it around. I'm pretty sure this will work, but there's only one way to find out. We got to keep going with it. Oh, I got to start pulling down all the Game Boys right here. I'm probably going to have to redisplay those somehow. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is like when the artistic mind comes out in a game collector, is when he's trying to set up his game room. And I think this is ultimately going to be for the best. So anyways, I'll fill you in on the next update. Alright guys, so the bit of nervousness that I had is starting to leave me. I'm pretty sure all this is going to fit. I'll have plenty of room left over. As you can see, we are making the headway, and I'm pulling, as I'm taking stuff off, I'm putting stuff on, working my way down. I got 2 more rows left, which should fit everything comfortably and leave me some room to add 3 or 4 games per shelf. And then once that fills up, I'll deal with that roadblock later on. Been putting a lot of boxes and whatnot over on the floor. I bet a lot of people probably didn't even know that I had that many Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color boxes, or original Game Boy for that fact. All this is going to look nice. I'm excited about it, but man, my back is not happy about it, because all this bending over and picking stuff up, it's taking its toll, but I ain't worried about it. This is going to look good in the end, and I'm super excited about it. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do with those Game Boys. once I got all the PS2 stuff on the shelf, that's when I can really start figuring this out. Now I got to pull all the NES boxes over here, which I got far more of those than any other box. So let's get that out and then see how the PS2 shelf turns out. All right, guys, let me get that music off here. I've been listening to a lot of Eden. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Like, I don't know. Maybe I think they're in maybe Canada or something. I have no idea. Awesome band. I tell you, that it was a cool story. The first time that I ever heard them or heard any of their music is when I was trying out the PlayStation VR for the first time. And there was this song that you could, like, watch virtually. I don't know how to explain it. It was called Drugs. God almighty, that was a phenomenal experience right there. That's definitely an unforgettable moment in gaming. But anyways, back to what we're doing. Oh, that just fell off. That's all right. This bottom shelf right here is supposed to be 2 shelves, but I made it to where there was no shelf in between, so I can put big stuff in there. We can easily fix that. This is actually one of my old boards for my eBay listings, and what I'm going to do is just simply stick that in there and cut it out, and then that way I can stack games on top of it without them falling through. It's a very quick, easy solution. I see people do it with like N64 games. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I get it set up here. Alright guys, so I got to work from the bottom up, which is weird because I've been working from the bottom or the top down, you know, going in alphabetical order. But seeing as how I can't stack nothing here because there's nothing to support it, I had to go backwards, which is okay. I mean, that's what I figured. This piece wasn't exactly long enough, so I had like a little extra to add on the end. But I mean, it works simple. I mean, obviously, the support of the games is what holds everything up, but it keeps the games from falling down, which is really nice here. And that's really it right there. So anyways, I'm going to finish putting these up right here, guys, and you're going to see how it all works. I think I'm going to have a good bit of room left over, too, which is going to be nice. That way I can add more to this collection. So let's check it out. All right, guys, so I got all the PS2 stuff is completely gone now. Like, all this is completely off the shelves, as you can see, and it looks good over here. I got room to add maybe 2 or 3 games per shelf. It doesn't leave me a lot of room left over, but like I said, I'll come across that demon whenever I get to it. But it looks a lot better over here. I mean, it all looks nice and uniform and constricted, which is nice. It gives it a very, I don't know what, like store-like atmosphere, which is kind of what I like. I like being able to come in here and just shop for a game that I want to play, which is nice. So now the next step, figure out how to do all this. I think I'm going to do N64 on the bottom. That'll look nice. They're nice and vibrant and beautiful. The carts themselves, and then start doing the boxes on the way up. I don't know. We're just going to, like I said, this is when the artist comes out. So anyways, let's see what happens. Let's see what I can make work. Alright guys, as you can see, I've been putting the N64 games up here, and it is looking awesome. I'm going to have the display games like I normally do, you know, the ones that I like to highlight. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the Game Boys yet. I'm going to start loading the shelves up from the bottom up and just seeing how it's going to work. It may fill out very nicely with all the boxes that I got. Because keep in mind, I still got all these Super Nintendo boxes and then the ones that I haven't put on the shelf yet. So it should fill out pretty, I'm hoping it's going to look really well. I'm liking the results so far. Fill you in on the next update. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm filling this up with all these wonderful boxes, and some of you may be thinking, like, you really don't have that many boxes. That's absolutely true. In my old game room, I never had the room for them, so I usually sold them, kept the game. Now that I have the room, I'm starting to collect them again. So this is not that, you know, this is not that long of collecting boxes. I'm hoping to pick up a lot more at the convention, because you can usually get them pretty damn cheap. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with these Game Boy games. Like, all this is still up in the air on like how I'm going to do it. So let me figure out this Game Boy situation, and then I'll show you what it's going to look like, or at least what it should look like. It's always changing, you know, that's how a game room is. So let's check it out. Alright guys, I'm going to show you what I came up with, and now keep in mind this is probably going to change soon. Who knows? I'll look at it. I'm comfortable with it now. I like the way this is looking, but it may change. Who knows? I may move something up, move down. You know how it goes whenever you have a game room. But look at the new wall. Tell me if that does not look absolutely beautiful. I love that. I added the Game Boy box and the Zapper and the TurboGrafx Express box up there just to fill it out, because I have a lot of room available up there, and I just kind of wanted to fill it up. As for the Game Boys, they're still just kind of scattered around. I did move that Harvest Moon box, put it over here with the Super Nintendo games. Alright, sorry about that. It's not a normal day of filming a vlog if he ain't out there revving that damn car up. But I moved the Harvest Moon box over here, put it with the Super Nintendo games, and put my Neo Geo Pocket over here just to have a spot for it. And, you know, these, you would think this is not the safest thing, but they actually balance really well. They're not coming down. Same with, like, the TurboGrafx Express. It holds up nicely. But that's the only thing that I'm kind of on the fence about, is how I want those Game Boys displayed. I might, actually, I don't know why I'm not doing it now. I'll just move these down here. That way they're lined up with that. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. I think I'll do that, and then, yeah, let's see how that looks real quick. That fixes it. That makes everything just nice and lined up. I like that. I think that's going to stick for a while. Some of the bigger units, you know, like the TurboGrafx Express or the Atari Lynx, they kind of have to have their own spots. Same with the Sega Nomad. They're just too big. They won't balance on these little parts right here. I still got room. I'm hoping to pick up a few of the boxes that I'm after. Typically, when I collect boxes, unless I find them at a yard sale or a flea market, I'm paying nothing for them. I don't actively go out seeking them. There are a few games that I need the boxes for. Those are the games that if I do, you know, pay a decent price, it's going to be those. And a convention is about the only place that I'm going to do it, which is why I'm going to pull out a few games from my PS2 collection over here, just the ones that I'm most likely never going to play, and I'm just going to use those towards trade, as well as, of course, I'm going to have cash down there, but I much would rather have games that I'm wanting to play versus the games that are just going to sit on the shelf. I guess as you grow older with your collecting life, you kind of change your views on things, and I'm not necessarily getting out of collecting, things that I don't have. I'll still do it if I can get it for cheap, but as far as wanting to have just really awesome games and sacrificing some bad games or games that I'm not going to play for, it's not going to hurt me. It's that quantity over quality, or I'm sorry, quality over quantity aspect. I'm telling you, every damn time I hit this record button, he loves to go out there and damn rev that thing up. Anyways, down here we got a whole open shelf of Super Nintendo games, and I'm starting to get more than I can put on the shelf, so I'll be able to fill that out, and I'll have plenty of room down there. And there's probably going to be 3/4 of that shelf just open for whatever I can put up there, which is awesome, because it kind of, doing this freed up a lot of room, because as you know, the PS2 collection, we would have a display shelf of some, really nice games that I wanted to display, but there was a lot of real estate that we could constrict, which is what we did over here. That's why you don't see any of that. And that freed up a lot of room in this game room, which is awesome. It's consolidating a lot of things and making a whole lot more room for the future. So anyways, guys, tell me what you think of this. Do you like the new change? I love it. I am much more eager to play an N64 game when I can see them. If I can just look at them, I'll get that urge. I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta play that one. So I'm glad that they're out and about. Plus, with my boxes, I got some really nice boxes, and a lot of people just never really got to see them, and now you'll get to see them, and hopefully my box collection will start to grow. So anyways, guys, let me know what changes you have done in your game room. How much of a pain in the ass has it been, or are you considering doing a change? And let me know what you think about the change I've done here. So anyways, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.